drawing like I used to on YouTube with Squirrel UK and you know all those Tilty Bird, good people, you know. And this brings back memories about them, but also I took on it. I love that. I don't know how to say. I love the practice that they do, and I want to start practicing it again. So for will it entertain you? I don't know, but it's gonna entertain me, and if it entertains you, wonderful. Um, I hope it does. I'm gonna use my other phone and see what this looks like. Okay, it's not bad. Um, Let me fix it up. So it will look something like this. Okay. Well, I'm doing it without plan. I'm just setting up and kind of letting my mind get a grasp of what it wants to do or where it wants to settle. Okay. There's all that ringing. I'm sorry. So I just turned down the volume. And hi, Kona. How you doing? So I'm just kind of letting it flow. I'm not even gonna think about is it good? What am I doing? I'm just gonna let it flow the best way I can. Sometimes it's hard to just let it flow. When you're getting like a massage or somebody's gonna massage your shoulders or whatever, like my wife does after work and everything. Sometimes it's hard to just let go and be loose. That can happen mentally too, I think. You think you're being relaxed, but you can let go even more. And so I'm kind of practicing that. Why? I don't know. It's interesting. I think it feels good. I think emptiness in that kind of form is beneficial. It centers a person. It centers me. I have to speak for myself. Oh, so Bone Sparker, what's up? so I'm not drawing anything. I'm not planning anything. I'm just doing this out of pure what you call it, just improving it, and I'll see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen. I might have like a plan come to my head, but for just that brief few seconds, like, oh, I'm gonna color in this line. That's a plan. Very brief one. That's kind of how far I want to go. My mind will wander and it will do its thing, but let's see what happens. I really don't know. I think it's kind of a fun thing too. Is hey Jojo. Here's a fun thing too. Is that I'm not an illustrator. Like I don't do this, and this is just like this is just kind of like improv, off the cuff, using my imagination, which I do have a strong imagination. I'm blessed to have that. It could be a blessing and a curse. It's about, what do you call it? Shit. There's a certain word. Discernment. It takes discernment. And discernment can be tough sometimes. And I've learned throughout the years for myself that, being neurodiverse, just discernment in my thoughts and discernment in what I perceive, it can be a challenge, I guess. It's really tricky because an individual perceives what they perceive. And if you try to get validation of what you perceive by another person, they're just not going to see what you see or understand it. So, I'm just kind of rambling, but it's all good. It's a pretty nice morning out here in Florida. It's starting to pick. It was cold this morning when I brought my daughter to school. It was chilly. And now it's feeling like it's the 80s, high 70s. But it's pleasant. And something I want to see if this practice does for me is like if it kind of opens the door to, expression. Like, oh wow, what's this mean? And it kind of brings a meaning to the drawing. Like, it's expressing my soul, it's expressing my mind, it's expressing my emotion. It's coming from somewhere, and this is an expression of something. It's really interesting to evaluate it, or to even have other people evaluate it, just for the fun of it. What they can see or get out of this art. I would love to hear other people's view. It's kind of fascinating, Even if you hate it, if you feel like it sucks, it's okay. It's okay. Again, it's all about perceptions. It's the sincere perceptions. Let's see. Hey Jojo, cool. Yeah, right? Interesting. Alright, let's see now. Hmm. Oh, that's cool. You know, it's edgy. Hmm. You know, I do love medieval fantasy and that stuff in nature. I've been loving that stuff since I was, pre-teenager, and Dungeons and Dragons and all of that kind of stuff with video games, and I get creative with like I don't know, forces one could wield. I don't know. There is an edgy side to me. Edgy as in like, the part of you that likes the violent movies, that likes um, the video games where you rip somebody in half, but not always. But I can get pretty creative, in that realm. Like, what if you had to write your own horror story, and you had the intent to make it good? How would you create your villain or your main character? It's kind of an interesting question to somebody who's never thought of it and what they would come up with. Not that it's that important, but it's just entertaining. Hey, how you doing, Holly? It's so cool to have you here. It's very nice to see you. You know, like in the realm of like what um, how do I describe it? What would you rather be? You know, would you rather be a vampire, a werewolf, or a demon hunter? I added the demon hunter because that's kind of what I would like to be. I love werewolves. Vampires can be cool, but they're deceptive, and they have evil intent, you know. And well, not all vampires. That's true. I mean, you can really role play it. It's a spectrum of how evil or how cunning they are. But anyway, I would be the demon hunter because I know it defends something of innocence. I know that if I get this monster or this demon, it will protect the emotions and the distraught of victims. Because demons are not just this physical hulks, you know, that rip apart shit. No, they torment. You know, they get into the mind and the soul, and they cause delusion. Anyway, that would be a demon hunter. That's mine. You know, I'm kind of doing this newly. You know, the drawing, streaming it. Um, I have my reasons. You know, one of them is it is therapeutic for me to be in communication uh, with others, to not be so withdrawn or so shy about expressing myself. You know, being the mature age now of 51, you know, I am a late bloomer, but it's like I really feel the maturity of like I really just don't. I'm not so affected by the immaturity that is displayed or seen. You know, it's like You know what? You know what? It said the phone's gonna shut down due to high temperature. So that sucks. Let me see something here. Well, you know what? I'm gonna try to move it in the shade. One moment. All right. Yeah, that should do. Let's see. You know, there's meaning in all the details that we do, like that I'm doing here, the way the lines are made. You know, why am I not going like this? You know, a little ant. Hey, what's up? And what does it mean to me? I don't even know, but it has meaning. Like I can feel it. They're like threads almost, or like it doesn't have to be fabric threads, but threads of something. Threads of reality. Sounds like a cool movie name or a book name. The Threads of Reality. Alright, let's see. Okay, we got the basic outline for that. I just want to think about. See, now at this point, I kind of want to think about what I'm doing. Let's see. Okay. All right. You know, you can give meaning to these lines. You know, the way I'm coloring it in has a meaning for me, because these are all individual things. These lines are all individual, and they're filling up. They're filling up this thing, whatever it may be. Just concepts, man. Let the concepts flow. Concepts are so cool. You know, and use discernment, which is, I think it's just an innate ability. but it can also be a spiritual one, you know, absolutely. There's others out there who can definitely understand what I'm talking about, you know, maybe even you. Now all this will be filled in a little bit better. Now, this will be a little weird, but I'm gonna do it. This is gonna be kind of clashy, but screw it. I have the impulse to do it. I have to get positioned. I love doing these shapes with the triangles or whatever you want to call them, fins, stalagmites, stalactites, teeth. I don't know, man. They're just really fun to do. And when I get my daughter's colored pencils, I'll probably put some color to it. I've never practiced colors. You know, I know people who are very, very skilled at colors, coordinating them and making some amazing art with colors. I just, I'm more of a neutral color guy. I can appreciate the bright ones, you know. Sure, I do like them, but I just find them more like I feel more grounded with nature colors. You know, like nice. I love the nice brown. I love the different shades of brown. I love blue. Certain blues are really, really nice. I'm a little surprised they don't love green, just because green is so expressive. Same with yellow. Like I admire yellow. I admire green, but they're not on my list. Oh, that's pretty funky. Oh, all right, all right. So let's see. Let's get a little outline. Let's give it a little outline. Because now I'm getting an idea of what I want to make it. I can see a more of a solid image of, you know, concept. I won't say what I think yet, because it might change. You guys can say your ideas too. You know, feel free to type them up or whatever. You know, say what you think it might look like. It can be anything sci-fi, you know, it can be creative, come up with some crazy shit. It's all cool. I love creativity when it comes to like creatures and shit. Ba-ba-ba-da. So being a Marvelite myself, you know, loving comic books. You know, I got into comic books in the late 80s, 1988. And my first comic that I was attracted to, because my friend had some, and he had one hanging on the wall. It was like, whoa, that's super cool. Was the Wolverine #1 limited series, and it's like he was looking in the cover, he was looking at you, and he was kind of using his finger like come here, but his blades were out. It was super cool. There might be some people who know it, and Wolverine was a really cool dude, especially when you're like, well, how old was I? 13. When you're like 13, and you're like, damn. And during that time too, there was a lot of you know, army movies, you know, Rambo and shit like that. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in his prime, Chuck Norris, you know, there's others. So anyway, I remember going into the comic shop with my friend, two friends, my two best friends at the time, and you know, we rode our bikes all over the place. It was cool. We got to this comic shop, and I see the Wolverine. Like I was like different Wolverines too. I was like, I'm gonna get this. And my friend was like, no, you can't have him. No, he's my favorite character. He's my character. So he was like, no, he was protecting his character. Like I couldn't have him. And so what I saw on the wall, and it looked so badass, was Punisher #1 limited series. And the Punisher, it was a bit different back in the 80s and 90s. He was more sophisticated. He wasn't so PTSD. He's more realistic. You see him now and in the movies, like John Berthnall. I love it. I think it's a great rendition of Punisher, but it's not the only rendition of Punisher. That's not the only way he's been. You know, he's back in the 90s. The artist Jim Lee from Marvel, one of his early jobs was illustrating the Punisher War Journal. And the Punisher War Journal was incredibly done with art, and it showed his smarts, his sophistication, his intelligence, and his calm demeanor. That's the Punisher I grew up on. And he killed people that you would honestly say deserve to die. Hey Liz, oh my god, it's so cool. Good morning. It's nice to have you here. Thank you. You know, yeah, I don't even know what it is. I'm just, you know, you can see some ideas and tell me what you think. That's really funny. And the Punisher had a couple of movies. One was with Dolph Lundgren. That was, you know, I was like, again, like 13 or something. I was all into it. But looking at it now, it's pretty cheesy. And I didn't see the other movie as Punisher because it just, looking at the preview, I was like, no, that's not Punisher. So this whole John Bernthal thing with Punisher is making a lot of fans happy because it's finally showing a version of him unrestrained, and it's showing the side uh, of the individual, of the soldier. He was an ex-marine with major PTSD, especially with his family being killed in front of him. If you haven't seen the Netflix series of Punisher, it's pretty gruesome, but it's pretty good. And the one that came out in 2017. Anyway, I'm just nerding out. It's cool. Just talking about my little history with Punisher. Now he's going to be in the new Spider-Man movie, which I'm really looking forward to. Um, and in May, there's going to be a Punisher movie on in Disney, and the guy who produced it and all that was John Bernthal. And I think he wrote it too. Seriously. So it's violent for sure, but anyway, we all like to see the bad guys get their ass kicked, right? I would love to see. No, no, no. Let me show it to you if I can. Let me see. This is the symbol I have as my picture. I designed it. I just took clip art of the cross. I took clip art of the crow and of the what do you call that? It's more of an ethereal type circle. Like that could be spiritual. When you look at it in the picture, you can see more detail. And it has a lot of meaning to me. It may just give you meaning. Um, when you see it, you might have your own meaning. But the stuff I've been through, not only with Scientology, but with, other religion, the bleeding is like, the pain it caused. But my faith is still there. I still love God. I still perceive God. I just went down different paths, wrong paths. I got caught up in snares. And he warns us of that. But with his grace, somehow I got out. I had to be insane to get out. And I returned my love to God. It's pretty cool. So this has meaning of that, and is other things too. It can change depending on how I'm feeling. So I'm pretty happy with it. Hey, Ophelia. So let's see. Okay. Fuck it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, definitely. I'm not a religious person. I'm really not. And I've learned why. I've learned why. And everyone has their own experiences with religion. And I would say, religion can easily be the wolf in sheep's clothing. They're using the name in vain. There's people who are deceived and don't even know they're spreading it, just like Scientology, A lot of crazy fucking abuses. Evil shit. And, we know the story. But I wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, is all I'm saying. that's what kind of brought me back to it. You know, one, I felt it, but you know, two, um, I realized like those bad experiences don't define God, because He even tells us. And I know it's fucked up to say like you know the Bible tells us. You know, I'm not a Bible humper. You know, I do believe it. I do believe it, but I believe it's. I don't know shit too. Like I'm just saying my opinions. I can change my opinions tomorrow. I've also learned like you know I don't know shit. I just know what I perceive and what I can communicate. Oh, what's a Scientostalker? I don't even know what that is. That sounds interesting. So is there a guy who's stalking Scientologists? Oh yeah, it does, dude. Whoops. Yeah, it kind of does. Well, that's not my intent. So what's a Scientologist? What's the Scientostalker? Is it like a bad thing? You know? Sure, it sounds bad. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hey, Power. Hey, what's up, Brad? Good to see you. I'm sorry if they left. Take, make sure you document it. Yeah, make sure you document it. Just report. You can document as much as you can, and be at peace. You know, if, I know that might sound weird, but no, be at peace. It can't hurt you. All right. I mean, that's my advice. Is it the best advice? What do I know? I'm just saying my advice. Honest, that's how I would. See, I don't really want to go out of the lines, but I did on that one. It's all right. Da-da. You know, it's funny how we use energy. You know, like just energy, simple. Um, like we've got to use effort for work, and we've got to use all this effort for things. We use energy that our body creates, whatever. But when I look at art, you got to use energy too, and it's not arduous though. You kind of see the mental effect and spiritual effect of work, and it's nice. I can feel a little ache in my hand. It doesn't bother me. You know, I enjoy it in a way. Oh, you sent me an email? Okay, that's awesome. I will check it out later on. Soon. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate you guys hanging out. You know, it's cool. Yeah, hey, I feel that, right? Yeah. Okay, so I could color these little edges, but I want to see if there's something else I can create before I do all the detail work. Um, Now I'm kind of planning a bit. I'm looking at like what do I want to do in the center. Um, hmm. Yeah, let's see. Anything, yes. Anything that makes your heart sing. Yep. Hmm. I think it's a good exercise if you can to like try writing some poetry, try making your heart sing with the beauty that's around you and your memories and stuff. Like create something out of all of those things that make your heart sing. And I love poetry. I don't do it all the time, but you know, it's been very expressive for me. It's helped me a lot. So I just do this while I think. Yeah, I feel that I I think that's really good. I encourage that. And for me, art is very subjective. Like art, um, I look at its communication first. Like, oh, interesting. What is this artist portraying, or what do I see out of it as a communication? And then I might look at its like technical aspect, but I'm not so into that. Sure, I can recognize when there is good technical stuff, like good illustrator for a comic book, or you know, but even like bad illustrators for comic books, if they're expressive and they can like get the action down and stuff, that's cool. So, I could see your art, I'm sure, and evaluate it with my own soul, with my own mind, and have a meaning, whether it was what you intended or not. I could evaluate it and with positive energy, positive attitude, and look at it and see, It's communication. It's really cool. Yeah, yeah, me too. I am. It's still out there. We heard Tilty last month or so. It was nice, and I remember seeing Fluffer uh, in a chat maybe a couple months ago. But whatever. I'm not keeping tabs. I'm just saying. Yes, we all miss them. We all miss them. You know, and I understand. That things happen, whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, look at me. I took a break for 2 months for reasons, you know, for reasons with family and everything. But I tend to do that. I do it for my own space. I don't know, but it's okay. But we do miss them for sure. I kind of feel some meaning, like sci-fi meaning coming to this. Like I want to see if what comes of it in my head. Let me see. Hmm. Oh, thanks, Liz. Thanks. It's fun. It's total improv. Let's just, do something. This come up today. I do tend to love these shapes though. Like I'll do drawings with, big arches and stuff. Maybe it's just the flow. I like how it flows, but it also has a nice look. I still want to do something with the center. I'm not sure though. My dad taught me an important lesson growing up, and I've heard it probably 1,000 times from him, was measure twice, cut once. Oh, my JoJo. Wow. I don't. Is this good? Is this now? If this is interesting, Jojo, I really appreciate what you got out of it. I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, mine does too. When I'm pondering what you said, I can see that. And you know what I? Oh, that's really cool. You know what I get? You know what I get, Jojo? Like this is my mind, and I have my compartments of like things I really like to think about, my manics, or like the things that make me comfortable, you know. And this one here is like a defense, because I do have sensory issues, and especially light or too much noise when I'm trying to concentrate, or just when I want to have quietness, and it's just a couple people talking. Like I can have definitely sensory issues. Just ask my wife, right? She knows. But I see this as sensory, overloads, and these spikes could be my own defense against it, and I'm trying to maintain this is also a defense, a thought, a wall. I'm not sure, but I definitely see what you're talking about. I like that. Yeah, it's good that you can see that, to put your brakes on. You know, Unfortunately, I have an impulsivity, in my DNA, I guess, I'll be impulsive sometimes. It's definitely more controlled, for sure, with medications and a good supportive wife and good family. hmm I like impulsive, by the way. I am impulsive in some of my nature. Like, it's a funny little background. Like, when I'm gonna do a video, um, I'm impulsive. I'm like, I just want to go live, and just say what comes to my mind. That's not always the best idea for some. I tend to have a lot of dead air. But I'm learning. Okay, maybe I should plan something. Or not go in really dead tired, and and try to be impulsive. So, or try to be, whatever. You know what I mean? So, when it comes to art, I like impulsive like this because just things come out. And then what your analysis, I totally see. I like it. I like it. across the way, they're making a pool. They're kind of like taking apart some of their house and making room for it. I think it's an in-ground pool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Maybe I'll go pool hop later. I'm just kidding. So let's see. Let's see the best angle. I like this angle. No, the one that's on the camera. I like it in a almost like a chaotic. It's going the reverse way. It's moving to the left, and I like that for now. So I'm looking forward to some other movies this summer. The kid and me. I really am the sci-fi lover in me. Definitely wants to see He-Man. I grew up with that shit. And another movie that Dolph Lundgren did. He did The Punisher, but he also did He-Man. And that movie, I'd be honest, kind of sucked. I didn't even like it as a kid. But this one actually, because of technology and everything, actually looks like they contain its lore. Like it shows Eternia. It has the machines and the strange looking humanoids and everything. There's a lot of weird looking creatures in it, and it's going to introduce, I hope, some fun concepts for people. I hope it doesn't tank. If it does, it does, you know. But I really hope it does well. Because I do like the lore of Masters of the Universe. It's not the 80s cartoon so much. When you know, geek out on it and you see how it's mature lore, it's actually pretty interesting. It's fun. It's a fun universe. And so, hey, they're bringing it to the big stage, and let's see if this universe of theirs sticks. I'm not a big, you know, figure collector. When I was younger, I would collect some figures, but you know, I'll look at them. And you know, when I was young, I used to buy the figures. You know, so the new He-Man movie ones, they don't look that great. You know, like 80s always had the best toys, man. I'm just saying, we had the best shit. Mm. Um. Okay, we got the gist of this one. Let me think here. Do any of you want to talk about something specific? Oh, and JoJo, that's pretty cool. Damn. I mean, that's a treasure. It's a real hand-me-down, you know. You want to give that to your kids and on. First Spider-Man, it was like super popular. You know, it was like the Harry Potter when that first came out. You know, it was like, wow, Spider-Man t-shirts and mugs and all that shit. This is in the 60s, I think. Spider-Man was 1963. I believe it was 63. And Daredevil was 1964. The Daredevil show is really good. I really enjoyed it. For what it is, you know, the acting is pretty stellar. You know, and what can you do? You know, it's a superhero thing. I do want to see The Boys season 5. I have yet to see that. That is one funny show. Very entertaining. I remember reading a comic book series that was much like The Boys. It was called Ultra, and it was just it was a mini series. It's about superheroes who, like, what if superheroes were real and they were sponsored by big companies, you know, like Coca-Cola, you know, all these. They're like big celebrities, huge celebrities, and it was really funny. It was for mature audiences, you know. It was super funny. So The Boys kind of has that same flavor. Ah, thank you. Thank you, Lorraine. I really believe. I said believe, Mary. Thank you. So, if you guys have a topic you want to talk about, you want me to talk about, feel free to write it or just listen to me nerd out. All right, let's see. Oh, me too, man. I love that. It's so true. You know, it definitely helps with the neuro spiciness. Like it gives it it's like a playground for it. Like, hey, all right, just let it go. And then your mind makes up shit and you see stuff. And that's, that's what I like to do in life anyway. That's what I tend to do in life. I've learned to just say, hey, yeah, I like it. Alright, so it's time to work on these sides. I'm doing only one side just to see what effect it creates. I'm just being creative. I have no rhyme or reason for only doing this side, but it kind of has a cool effect. And it helps cover up the lines that go outside the box, which I'm really not concerned about. I'm not that concerned about. Well, let's see. Now, one problem I can have when the product is finished, and I can be a little bit of a perfectionist because I start, it's the details. And, I'm learning not to be such a perfectionist. Like, sometimes flaws look good. I like to see flaws in artwork. It looks homemade, it looks like it came from a soul. It came from somebody. You know what I'm trying to say. And I like that. Okay. Yeah, Jojo, I mean, you really gave me a concept. Yeah, thank you for that. I got a good meaning for this. Because as I'm doing it, I really see what you said. And I made it my own as far as, like, I see it as sensory overload. And, being in my own world. I hate to be like that, We're all in our own world. You know? But it's like you get this like uncomfortableness in your mind. It's like you want to withdraw. It's too much. You're uncomfortable. You could be comfortable, but taking things one at a time. It's the thing about processing everything at once. We have a smaller filter. We can get the data, but it's about processing it. And if it's too much, it clogs up. It's kind of one way to look at it. ADHD for me. And yeah. Hey Liz, I had a thought. If you're still there, I I know how much work you did with the L. Ron Hubbard's history in the dark arts and in the occult, and um, that shit's very valuable. And so that stuff is very valuable to know. And I don't know if you have, I don't think you have, but I would highly encourage you to write a book about it. Or I really want that to be known. Like, people need to know the details. Because I'll tell you right now, like, I don't care about any Scientology PR officer. They're not going to handle a pastor who says, who knows proof of his occult history and how it ties into Scientology. And, you did so much research. And I should listen to your videos again about that. And if you have any new stuff or you want to talk about it again, I'll definitely be there. I want to hear about his occult past and in detail. Like, there's so much still there to uncover. It's a good subject to talk about. Alright, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. See, this is static. It's like this stuff could be interpreted as, the sensory overloads. The sensories coming in and, me blocking it out. Or this could just be the one sensory. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Lord. No problem, Lori. Lori. Yeah, Liz, I can't understand it either. Fascinating and vital. Vital. I didn't read, sorry, I'm bad with names, I really am. What's her name? The Christian who came out. I didn't read her book, and I wonder if I do want to read it. I want to know if she shows any ties between the demonology and Scientology. Is there any, solid piece of proof, hey, this... Well, there is, actually. You have the triangles, where that comes from. You have the OT, which is, I think it comes from the Oto, which is, Joy Vila, yeah. And, oh my god, it's not released yet. I thought it was releasing. Okay. Yes, exactly. It takes time, and it takes peace and community and just good vibes, man. It feels good to have you guys here. I appreciate it. Um, but if, yeah, Liz, I mean, you're a pretty smart person. You've done a book already, or more, and you've done that amazing art project you did. It's definitely not, you know, collecting dust. You know, you have all that information, and if you could make a self-published book through Amazon, you could do people a lot of favor. I'm just inspiring, that's all. What am I saying? You know, why don't I write it? Yeah, right. I'm just saying you got all that. You got the drive, like the fascination for it. And just kind of putting it there, watering the seed. Yeah, I mean, it would be vital. Like, I mean, when I say vital, it would be like a serious book. It would be a serious book because you're talking about something very serious. And it wouldn't be, when people are done with the book, they would have a different concept of Scientology. They'd have a true concept of Scientology they never knew. And this is touching people's Christian roots. This is touching people's morals. This is touching people's, the people who are spiritual will realize too, like, hey, this, you know, we do believe there's definitely a battle of good and evil. But you'll be able to see what side Scientology really is on. Picture book, wow. Wow. That's a. I have to try and work on that one. Let me just think about it. That's cool though, man. That's creative as hell. Oh, I'll have to check it out, JoJo. Let's see here. So I was saying, like, this could be one. This could be even one trigger, and like the static is coming at you, you know, and you're just fighting it off with your defenses, you know, and your whatever you do, whatever I do, you know, I do various things. You know, I don't necessarily get angry or anything, but I can. Anger is not the word, but it's like, you know, frustrated. Let me see here. I mean, this is the time. Um, this is the time to make the spiritual warfare known. Like, we're in spiritual warfare. We always have been, but people are more aware about it. I sincerely believe. Like, people feel it, people see it. All that evil shit, you know, all that fucking disgusting evil that's being revealed. You know, I don't have to get into it. I don't have to say it. We know what it is. You know, and the evilness of Scientology. You know, it's like it's needed, man. People need to know its origins, even if they don't believe in spirituality, and that's okay. Just some people perceive it. That's all, and they operate off those perceptions, and it gets them along in life, or gets them into trouble. But anyway, it's exciting. When is Joy Vila's book coming out? Okay, I can understand that too. You wanna get it right, or whatever the reason may be. But it's like this one shot, and it's a very important one. There's a lot of people who believe in Christ. There's a lot of people who feel spirituality of the Holy Spirit. A lot of people of various types of people all over the world. Whether it's real or not, it don't matter. Like, they feel it and they understand what it represents, and they live by it, or they try to, because it gives them protection. And I feel that. And with a book coming out about the demonology and his occult and all that, with fucking pictures and details, you're right, a picture book. Oh, now I see what you're saying. Now I see what you're saying. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, the hypnotic vibe. Like, what if you like have a black light, and made it trippy. So if you had a picture book, I could see it's the photos of, like, dude, if you can get a photo of Hubbard and Parsons or whatever, you know what I mean? Those, like, photos that people would never see. That would be cool. But I don't know what you mean. Like, I don't know what you actually envisioned for a picture book. All right. I do layers. Like, I'll go back to things. I'll do what I have to do, and then I'm gonna come back. I know again, and give it another, you know, fine tune. But we'll see how I feel. We'll see how it's coming out near the end. I really don't know how I will react to one of these pieces, even if I don't like it. I mean, I do like it. I think one of the things that is just my own perception, you know. But I think that one of the mistakes that people in society can make is not recognizing. Well, I was gonna say not recognizing evil, but it's like thinking that demonic uh, influence does not exist. And I don't mean by, like, the devil on your shoulder, but you know I bet if you were asked, right, like, okay, you have to do something demonic in an art form, and you have to portray that message to the youth in a serious thing, like, let's say you get paid $10 billion, or whatever. Like, that's what I'm talking about. There's evil intent, dark shit. You know, we know it's in the news. We know darkness exists. It's all coming out even more. It's ugly and sinister. Poor children, among everyone else. So, with awareness of what the intent of occultic magic is, as far as dark magic, Aleister Crowley killing babies, sacrifices, other fucked up shit. But in the name of dark magic, and what's the intent? And the intent really says a lot. The intent, even if you don't think it's real, or is real or not. So when you see the occult of Hubbard, and you're like, what was his intent? His son, what's his name? Gibbs. His son talks about it a lot, and no one believed him. He definitely looked neurodiverse. I don't know if he is, but he went through a lot of fucking abuse, and he spilled the beans. All right, nobody trusted him. I hope they trust him now. And yeah, the intent of Hubbard's demonic studies. One of them, which is really fucked up, is Parsons' sex rituals with Hubbard. Like, really? And to create a moon child. Okay? It's a demonic thing, I guess. I never heard of a moon child before. But it's obviously dealing something with spirituality and the occult and dark magic. Whether you believe it or if it's real or not. They did attempt, and they had this sincere intent to do that. That's what matters. Like, that intent to do that for that purpose. It's good stuff to expose, and it's good stuff for people to actually know in a wide scale. Yeah, that's cool. That's all it was, man. Hubbard was, unfortunately, he was the guy with the camera. He couldn't join in. Dude. Fucking creepy. Creepy, dude. Oh my god. But when you look at it too, Parsons was an important person. Like, look what he fucking created or helped create, you know, and Hubbard was rubbing elbows with him, you know, he was hanging with an important fucked up person. You know, it's interesting, that's all. I kind of fucked up that one, but it's alright. Let's see. Yeah, it does look kind of cool. I'm looking at it through my other phone and seeing what you guys see. Interesting. Yeah, this is the new thing, you know. I don't really do this, but I like it. Let me look at this for a second. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is the extent of it. Yeah, pretty much, JoJo, but it's not just people. Well, this overload tends to come from people, to be honest with you. Like, I don't, if it's like a loud screech outside, it doesn't bother me. You know, loud noises don't bother me. But when I get, you know, when I don't want something, you know, or it's just too much, it's like I put up the guard. What that guard is, you know, I don't even know, you know. Does this betray the guard? It could, you know, like, it looks like a solid wave of energy or a solid, you know, defense. And it looks like I got spikes out. You know, the interpolation is there and the overload. And these are the things I'm protecting as well. Like, this is me playing video games and being in my own world. This is me, I don't know, doing this. This is me thinking about this. And you know, unfortunately, you know, we have to protect ourselves like that. I don't know if that's normal, but it's like, you don't want to. Like, when I hear people talking and they're talking to me or something, and hey, thanks, Sophia, and I just can't receive it. I don't want to hurt the other person. Like, I don't want to be like, you know, angry at the person, which I'm not. But inside, it'll look kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't handle it, you put up your guard. If it's too much, you put up my blades. But Jojo, thanks for giving me the inspiration of what it is. I appreciate that. It's one interpretation. So let me check something. Hold on. Alright, so this has been going on for an hour and a half, you know. I'm gonna end off. And I'd like to do it again. Why not? Fun talking, fun just, yeah, we can. We all put guards up, it's true. Yeah, it can apply to anybody, you know. It's funny, I wonder if I did this, you know, the deep analysis. Nice, I like chill stream. Yes. I'm glad I could provide a chilled stream. You know, and like the deep analysis of this, would there ever be like, why did I make this today, right now? Do I feel this way? You know, I don't go that deep on it, but it does make me think. I'm not bothered by it. I think it's a bit freeing, you know, feels good. Oh, you know, let me do the old, where should I sign it? Where should I sign it? I don't want to waste, I don't want to put something there. Maybe here. Yep, here we go. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks, Liz, for stopping in. It's nice to talk with you. I'm sure we could bounce ideas. And then, yeah, I got the day ahead of me. I got the day off, so I got stuff to do. We'll see if I pop in later on today. Peace, guys.